When we follow Jesus, we live the way the Bible says to. That pleases God. But what if other people who are following Jesus and living to please God make different choices? Who's wrong? Who's right? The people in New Testament Bible times wanted to know this too. When the Apostle Paul wrote a letter to the first Christians living in the city of Rome, he told them not to argue with each other about what they thought was right or wrong. For instance, the Roman Christians disagreed about what was right to eat. Some people wanted to follow the Old Testament rules about food to please God. But others believed that as long as you thank God for the food, it shouldn't matter. Paul told them to handle it this way. Don't let it bother you and stop trying to boss people around who don't agree with you. Paul said to let God be the one to speak to others about what pleases Him and what doesn't. So, however we live, we should do it to honor God. We belong to Him, and we should try to do things His way, even if that seems different from how other people do. And when others who follow Jesus make choices different from ours, we don't look down on them. We aren't the ones who will judge each other. When we die, we will answer only to God, not to our friends, parents, or anyone else. We'll get to kneel down before God, tell Him the way we lived, and God will judge us based on how well we obeyed Him. But even though we shouldn't judge others who follow Jesus or boss them around, we need to help them learn and grow. We can make choices that won't tempt them to trip and fall down. But what does that really mean? How can we cause someone else to trip and fall? Here's the answer. Don't do things that lead others away from Jesus. Make choices that point them to Jesus. It's like the argument the people were having about food. Paul talked to the Christians who didn't think rules were important for food. He told them to go ahead and follow those rules when they ate with their friends that did believe the food rules were important. But why did Paul say that? Because eating what you want just isn't worth it if it hurts someone's walk with God. It's better to show love to someone who thinks differently than you do about food. And when you get down to it, following Jesus isn't about what you eat. It's not about which books you read, what shows you watch, or games you play. You and your family might have different rules from other families, but keep it between you and God. Don't make a big deal out of it and try to make everyone follow your rules. Following Jesus is about living a godly life, having peace between each other, and joyfully letting God's Spirit live in you and lead you. If you serve Jesus with this attitude, you'll please God, and other people will be drawn to Jesus too. So you can know what to do by reading the Bible and obeying God's voice inside you. If you're not sure if something pleases God, then don't do it. Anything you believe is wrong, and anything you're not sure about is a sin, even if others are doing it. When you obey God's Spirit, you'll be blessed. So let's aim for getting along with others who follow Jesus, and let's use kindness to help each other live to please God. No more arguing or judging.